Hello, it's Emserald. I just wanted to give a quick tour of all of the little secrets and gold and chests hidden around the Gallery Custom Bastion that I made for T-Wags and Antoine's Bastion building contest. So let's get into it. A couple of things that are unique about this bastion. One, it's a very large bastion. It's approximately 66 by 60 blocks and then 48 blocks tall. Very large bastion, but there is a lot of open space in the middle of it, so that seemed reasonable to me. Another interesting thing about this bastion is that it is almost completely symmetrical. So the small sides are exact copies of each other, these sides exact copies, the large ramparts exact copies of each other. So you can really approach this from any side and get a similar route, not having to worry about which side of the bastion you're on. There are some slight differences in the degradation in this middle section, but everything else is symmetrical. So everything on one side is on the other side, which I thought would be an interesting feature because we haven't seen that in any bastions before. The next unique thing about this bastion is that pretty much all of the passageways are usable, and they are very intricately placed so that everywhere is easy to access. So you can pretty much make it to anywhere in the bastion from anywhere else in the bastion. Each face has 3 separate entrances on the sides, including these faces over here. 1, 2, 3, down at the bottom is the third, and then you can access the top, and the top of the bastion can also lead you around. There are plenty of passageways that go across, various bridges throughout, lots of staircases throughout that make travel throughout this bastion very usable, and that plays into the lore of this bastion. So the Gallery Bastion is intended to be an old theater type arena style place where piglins would come and view the lower class piglins fighting it out in the center, maybe battling a hoglin here and there. But it's meant to be built like a theater, so there are fancy boxes all throughout where piglins would go to watch. Everything's accessible. There are higher up sections. These are the concession ramparts, so you can imagine that piglins would come up here and grab their snacks or whatever, take a good higher vantage of the fights. And then we have some nosebleeds up here in the bridge, which makes this accessible to cross, because obviously you don't want to cross in the middle of a fight that's happening. And we also have this anchoring our chandelier in the center. So, starting from the entrances, the tall rampart sides are meant to be the viewer entrances, and the shorter sides are meant to be the fighter entrances. So the viewer entrances, the main entrance at the bottom, it leads all the way to the top of the bastion. Let me get out of this lava. We have 2 pathways. There is a difference between these 2 pathways that we will see. So our first stop on the tour is these little rooms here. So they're teased with a gold block and a chiseled black stone to let you know that maybe there's something back here. So with a quick dig in here, we can see the first of 2 gambling rooms that are a part of this rampart. So the idea with these is this is where piglins would come to take illegal bets on the fights. So there was 1 gold block in the entryway, and then there are 3 gold blocks in the floor for a total of 4 gold blocks on this side. That's all that's over here, but a nice little secret room for a potential high roll route if you don't want to go to the main source of gold blocks, which we will get to later. Now, if we go to the other side, which you can access just by going up the other side from the bottom, or coming across here and heading down, we have a similar little area, another gold block being teased. This side only has 1 gold block, but it has a double chest. So that is another part of this gambling. It'll just be filled with normal bastion loot, but it is also here. So these are the same on the mirrored rampart across the way, but it's just a potential high roll route if you don't want to go to the main source of gold. So then up here we have our main viewing box. Nothing super useful for coming out here, but you get a good view of the bastion and of the center chalice area where the fight would be held. These passageways lead up to the side of the ramparts, which lead to the bridge across the side. We also have our passageways through here that are a bit smaller, a bit rougher. They are for our fighters, so just ways to get them up to the platform to be able to access their fight. Now, an interesting note is that these don't seem to lead anywhere, but with a couple of blocks dug, they lead straight into the gambling rooms. So this is another way to access these gambling rooms. It's just a quick dig right through these bridge areas. And if we go to the other side, we can see it will lead us straight to the chest room over here with just a couple blocks dug. So that's another way to access. You can also dig up here if you need to get out and over very quickly. But then these lead just up to this center area that accesses the bridge of the bridge over to the center area. Now, if you were to go the other way up here, it just leads to our chest area. There's a triple chest on each side, and then passageways in the back that lead up to the bridge and to our final entrance way, which is just out here. So there are plenty of heights to access, so they will adapt to the terrain around. There should always be a place to enter. So now for the main source of gold in the center area, a bit precarious to get to, might have to do some building to let piglins across, but in the center area we have a total of 12 gold blocks. So they are located here, so under the stair and the slab, stair slab, and then below these chiseled blocks we also have gold blocks. So there are our 12 gold blocks in the center. There were 2 more here and here. But this is the main source of gold. Similar to bridge, a lot of gold, so you should be able to get your trades, but the matter of getting piglins here and getting them safely. There are some little spots throughout that make easy trading spots, but you have to be careful of which ones you use so that you don't go through and dig to the lava below. So that is the summary of Gallery. I think it's an interesting bastion. I like that it is symmetrical, which is something that we don't really see in many of the bastions, and I also think that the scale of it just looks super epic. So I'm very happy with it. But yeah, so it's exciting to see what routes people might come up with. What I would assume runners would do is do a sort of manhunt route, breaking chests up here, and then just running all the way over here, picking up piglins on the way, breaking some gold along the way to keep them aggroed, and then trading in the center. So yeah, thank you for watching. That might have been kind of long, I have no idea, but this is the Gallery Bastion. Bye!